Welcome to the first episode of Behind the Track. In this new series, I want to take you with me to the background stories of the songs that I wrote. And I want to begin with my latest album, an alternative soundtrack to the motion picture, The Red Turtle. Tell you basically how the songs came to be and how did I work in this process. So I hope you enjoy sort of diving into the background of these compositions, and I want to start out with Nowhere Left to Run. So Nowhere Left to Run is one of the central works of the new album. It's fast, it's there's tension there, and there's definitely direction and drive throughout the whole song. Well, Nowhere Left to Run basically described for me the state of being of the main character of the movie. He is trapped on the island. He has nowhere to go. Yeah, it's also about a state that we can all identify with at some point in our lives, where we find ourselves maybe confronted with reality and the realization that we have to come to terms with our reality. Just like this protagonist has to come to terms with the fact that he will have to stay on the island and will have to live there. Just in the same way as we sometimes in our lives have to accept that some things are just the way they are and you cannot run from them, so there is nowhere left to run. And what brings the drive in this song mostly is actually the pattern that basically goes throughout the entire piece, and it's actually 7/8 pattern. And the fact that it's a 7/8, which means there's 7/8 notes in one bar, means that it has this drive because it's just a little shorter than the 4/4 bar measure that we're also used to. So every time the beat comes a little bit before you expect it. And that's one of the main reasons why it's almost, it almost runs from itself. And this continuous movement also makes you, never lose the pace and just keep going into one direction. And to me, that's one of that's how the song started. That's how I started to write. And it's the main characteristic of how this song has this drive, just from beginning to end. It just goes, it runs. For me, there's basically two parts in the song. There's an A part and a B part. The A part is where you have the 3 chords. In these 3 chords, I try to build up the tension as much as possible. Only for it to be released in the B section, where it quiets down a little bit. The chords are a little bit more pleasant in a way, more pleasing to the ear, more soothing. So that sort of calms you down throughout the track, only for the whole thing to sort of get to, a climax, an explosion in the middle of the song, where I use this effect. Actually, you use one of the pedals of the harp, which are on the back side of the instrument, and I put one of the pedals halfway. Therefore, the string starts to buzz. It starts to hit the mechanical part of the instrument, and therefore sort of creating a natural distortion sound. People can usually hardly believe that that's actually a sound that's coming from the harp. It's no effect. It's just the harp in itself. It creates this roar. So now, without further ado, I hope you enjoy the live version of Nowhere Left to Run.